Hello. So recently, I got my firearms back from a restraining order, and I'm amazed at how many people watched that video. But I figured I'd go over a couple things that a lot of people don't think about. When you're served a restraining order, it's temporary to begin with. So anybody can serve you a restraining order. They just need to go to the court and pay for the fees, and then pay for the police to deliver it and all that. They serve you a temporary restraining order. So it's temporary, and then they set a court date. Now, when you get served the temporary restraining order, the police will come and they will pick up your firearms or any kind of weapons, from knives, firearms, pointy stick, whatever it is. So you are required to release the firearms. And I've gotten a lot of people making comments like, "Oh, I'm never going to give them the guns and stuff like that. I'll fight them or whatever. Or I'll lie to them and I won't tell them that, that I have them and stuff." Well, here's the thing. They're required by law. They don't want to do this. They don't want to take your guns and stuff. But the court order or the procedure is to take the firearms for the temporary time. And when you go to court, then, they'll plead. So don't get mad at the police for taking it. You want to be mad at your ex? Fine. My ex filed the restraining order because she did not want to comply with a court order for me to see my daughter. So her solution for not complying and me filing a motion for contempt is to file a restraining order. Whole kind of battle, but that's not the point. So when the police get there and they want to take the guns, be nice to them. They're just trying to do their job. They don't want to do that. You screaming and yelling at them is not only is that not going to help, but you'll probably get arrested. They'll just fit you with a set of these, and then they'll search your house. So that's the other part of it. It's like, don't lie to them. Don't say, "Oh, I don't have any guns," or whatever. Because if they think you're lying, they will arrest you. They will get a search warrant, and they'll go through your house. And they'll take anything, and they won't care. Matter of fact, it'll even be worse, because they're going to be like, "Well, this guy is a jerk to me, so we don't care." They'll break into your, if you have gun safes, they'll break into your gun safes. They can ransack your house looking for weapons or anything like that. So fighting with the police because you're worried that your guns are going to get damaged or you don't want to give them up, it's just going to end bad. Now, I was very nice to the Manchester police when they came here. They were super nice to me. I was very helpful. I even gave them a spreadsheet with all my guns and all the serial numbers and stuff like that. And because I was nice to them, they were very nice and they took care of my guns. So guns like this, collectible pieces like this Henry, which anybody that's seen one, they have a beautiful stock. They're beautiful guns. And came back without a single scratch on it because I was nice to them. I know they're doing their job. I was very cooperative, and because I was very cooperative, the police were nice in return. Remember, they're just people trying to do their job. So, that's the first part. It's a pain. It's horrible. But, so when they give you the restraining order, it's going to have a date and for your court date. Now, in New Hampshire, you can ask for 3 to 5 business days for the court hearing instead of waiting the month or so for it. And I recommend that because then you can get your stuff back quicker. So after they, set your new court date or whatever, you go to court, and it's the burden of the person that filed the restraining order to prove that you threatened them. Now, when I went into court, the judge looked at the thing, and he looked at my ex and goes, "Did you even read the statute for filing a restraining order? Because there's no thing on this report that says he threatened you." And she's like, "No, I didn't." And then he proceeded to tell her what the statute is and why this is not a valid, application for a restraining order, and that he wasn't going to give the restraining order because she basically just, wanted to harass me. And when he asked me why, I told him that she did this because she didn't want to comply with the court order for me to see my daughter. So that's it. It basically ended the court case. So these people are like, oh, well, he's got a lot of guns. I can see why he gets restraining order. It's not always that. Anybody can do that. And red flag laws are even worse because red flag laws, you don't know who's filing it. They don't have to go to court to say anything. And they take your guns with no due process and not knowing anything, and it doesn't cost them anything. So if your neighbor's pissed at you and he knows you have guns, oh, red flag law. So that's why the red flag laws are bad. At least with the restraining order, she has to say who she is and pay for the fees and stuff like that. But so after the court date, if the restraining order is allowed, then you have a year that you won't get your firearms or anything back. But if it's denied, like mine was, then sometimes they'll give you the firearms back. They still got to do a process of, doing background checks and check to see if any of them are stolen or whatever. The second time, different court, because my ex goes to different courts to file these things, so that way they don't know that it's been through, the first one was in Manchester, the second one is in Derry. So, what they'll do is if it's, valid, it's going to be for a year. If it's released, I had to file for a motion to get my firearms back in Derry. Didn't have to in Manchester. So I filed for the motion, and basically I had to wait. And it takes, month and a half, 2 months. And then you should be able to get your stuff back. But how you treat this makes a world of difference, because if I was a jerk to the police and I started an argument and refused to give the firearms back, that will show up in the court documents. And even if she didn't get the restraining order, I could face criminal charges and not get my stuff back for the year, because they could do that. Not only that, but the way it's set up is they could store your firearms off-site. They could just say, hey, Joe Schmo's got a storage unit, or this gun store's got a storage unit. We're going to ship all that stuff to them. Who knows what's going to happen there? Damage, stuff stolen off of it. You have to pay the storage fees now because it's at an off-site thing. So, and that's by court ruling, that if you look at the statute for it, at least in New Hampshire and a lot of other states it is, the statute is if they want to send it off-site, you have to pay for it. So if you want to be a jerk to the police, then it's just going to end badly for you. So be aware of this. If you've never had a restraining order filed against you, awesome, because it sucks. But if it does happen, and for some reason, red flag laws or restraining order or whatever nowadays, be nice to the police, and you'll find that a lot of them will be nice back. Not always, but the Manchester police were awesome. I want to thank them so much for being as good as they were and taking good care of my guns. So, be aware of that. Be nice to the police. I hope you enjoyed the video and hope you have a good day.